Members of the Sheriff's Search Posse combing remote parts of the Cal Poly campus today, hoping to find some sign of the missing freshman. Kristin Smart, also known as Roxy, said goodbye to some friends last Saturday morning on this pathway close to her dorm. She hasn't been seen since.
We saw her on Saturday or Friday night before she disappeared. She was standing on the corner, and that's really strange that we happened to see her. And people are just wondering what happened to her.
Police say foul play is a possibility. They searched Roxy's dorm room and found her wallet, her identification, and medication for attention deficit disorder. On her calendar, a reminder to turn in extra credit homework. But there's also the possibility that she just ran away. Roxy's mother says she was frustrated by some hard classes, and there have been a number of reported sightings of her along the coast.
Dad was here this morning, picked up a whole gang of flyers, and is stopping at every place north of here along Highway 101 that you would stop to get a soda, get something to eat.
Authorities say their search of the campus is just about complete, but they are using these flyers as they expand their search off campus. In the meantime, until the mystery is solved, Roxy's classmates say they will not take their safety for granted.
I don't know, it really makes me cautious about walking around at night, and I really can't believe it. It doesn't seem real.
I used to tell a friend just to walk back to her dorm alone, nothing's going to happen, but now it's like, I won't let her anymore.
Kelly Brothers, Channel 3 reports.
Hello, and welcome to Criminality, a true crime podcast. Today, we will be talking about the case of Kristin Smart. Kristin was born on February 20th, 1977 in Augsburg, West Germany, to Stan and Denise Smart. Both of her parents were teachers to children of American military personnel. She had one brother and one sister. When she was a child, Smart moved with her family to Stockton, California. There, she attended and graduated from Lincoln High School in 1995. After graduation, Kristin chose to attend the California Polytechnic State University in San Luis Obispo in 1996. Coincidentally, this is the same school that Scott and Lacey Peterson attended to around the same time. According to her parents, Kristin struggled with school her first year, even going so far as to beg her parents to let her drop out, but they encouraged her to finish the year out. And so she plugged along until the night of May 25th, 1996, which fell on Memorial Day weekend. Wanting to let her hair down, so to speak, Kristin attended a birthday party where she didn't know anyone at a fraternity house. Her friend did not want to attend the party, so she dropped her off. The friend later recounted that they drove for a long time looking for any party. It seems that Kristin was almost desperate to party that night for whatever reason. At approximately 2 a.m., Smart was found passed out on a neighbor's lawn by two fellow students. Cheryl Anderson and Tim Davis, who had both just left the party, helped Smart to her feet and decided to walk her back to her dormitory. Another student from the party, Paul Flores, joined their group and offered to help the two return Smart to her dorm room. Davis departed the group first since he lived off campus and had driven to the party. Anderson was the second to depart the group, heading to Sierra Madre Hall after she told Flores, who lived closer to Smart's dorm, that he could walk her there. Flores stated to police that he walked Smart as far as his dormitory, Santa Lucia Hall, and then allowed her to walk back to her dorm by herself. Now, let me interject here. Who in their right mind would let anyone walk back to their place alone in the middle of the night, especially after they had been found out passed out already? To be fair, it isn't anyone else's responsibility to make sure someone else gets home safely. But if Paul had offered to help return Kristin to her dorm room, you would think he would have seen the task through. Anyway, this was the last known sighting of her. Smart did not have any money or credit cards at the time she went missing. The University Police Department originally suspected that Smart had gone on an unannounced vacation, as was common among students over the holidays. The result was that they were slow in reporting her as a missing person to local law enforcement. She was only reported missing after a week, despite her family calling the police earlier. An initial search was organized, but nothing was found. As I mentioned earlier, Scott and Lacey attended the same school, so during the Lacey Peterson murder investigation, there were unfounded rumors in the media that Scott Peterson had something to do with Smart's disappearance due to their simultaneous attendance at the Cal Poly campus. There was a brief initial inquiry into whether Peterson was tied to the disappearance, with Peterson denying any involvement, and he was eventually ruled out as a suspect by the police. On August 19, 1998, 2 years after her disappearance, the Kristin Smart Campus Security Act passed 61-0 by the California State Legislature and was signed into effect by then Governor Pete Wilson. The law requires all public colleges and publicly funded educational institutions to have their security services make agreements with local police departments about reporting cases involving or possibly involving violence against students, including missing students. Smart was declared legally dead on May 25, 2002, the 6th anniversary of her disappearance. In 2005, her parents, Denise and Stan Smart, filed a civil case of wrongful death against Flores. The suit was dropped due to lack of evidence after Flores pled the Fifth Amendment. In 2006 or 2007, the Flores family filed a lawsuit against the Smart family for emotional distress, but the lawsuit never resulted in a judgment. Years passed, and even though technically the case was never cold, it definitely lied dormant for many years. That is, until 2019, when Chris Lambert created the podcast Your Own Backyard that focused on Kristin due to his connection to the area. His podcast gained enough attention to renew interest in the case, to the point where even police gave him a shout out in helping them move the case along. While I didn't take much from the podcast of his episodes, if you would like a wider picture into Kristin through interviews with her loved ones, definitely give his podcast a listen. So, on April 22nd, 2020, the Los Angeles Times reported that a search warrant was served at the home of Paul Flores in San Pedro, California. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department assisted detectives from San Luis Obispo County Sheriff's Department in the search. It was reported that numerous items of interest were successfully found during the search. Among the items found in the search were date-rape drugs and homemade videos showing Flores sodomizing and raping young women. On March 15, 2021, a search warrant was issued to search Ruben Flores' home, including the use of cadaver dogs and ground-penetrating radar. An older model Volkswagen was towed from the home of Ruben Flores after cadaver dogs searched the vehicle. On April 13, 2021, Paul Flores and his father, Ruben Flores, were taken into custody by the San Luis Obispo County Sheriff's Department in relation to the case. Paul Flores was charged with murder. Ruben Flores was charged with being an accessory. Prosecutors believe that Kristin's body had been buried underneath the deck of Ruben Flores' home, but had recently been removed. Biological evidence was found by using ground-penetrating radar and cadaver dogs. Investigators later concluded that Paul Flores attempted to rape Smart, although Dan Dow, District Attorney of the County of San Luis Obispo, has stated that the statute of limitations has expired on a sexual assault charge, but murder committed in the course of rape or attempted rape justified first-degree felony murder charges. In September of 2021, a judge ruled that there was sufficient evidence of guilt for the case to proceed to trial. Pre-trial motions were heard on June 6th and 7th, 2022, and jury selection began on June 13th. Opening arguments are scheduled to begin on July 6th, and the trial is expected to last until October. I think the police always had their eye on Paul, not just because he was the last person to have seen her, but because the day after her disappearance, he was seen with a black eye, and when asked about it, he would give multiple accounts on how they had happened, and none of them were satisfactory. But, as they say in True Crime Weekly, it's not about what you know, but what you can prove that's important, and I am so glad that they are this much closer to being able to prove what happened to Kristin that night. And there you have it, the ongoing case of Kristin Smart. What do you think of this case? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe.